I think what really is pissing off white people is the fact that the sun is trying to kill them. Stay with me. Stay with me. The sun's trying to cook them. The sun is trying to poison them. The sun gives them cancers. Like, the sun ages them in the most diabolical ways. They can't even handle being the slightest bit hot.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Right, so in today's episode, we are going to indulge a sister who is coming with a very, can we say, a theory that makes sense. But this, we have to mention that these are totally her own thoughts and opinion.
Right, yeah, one that she decided to sit down and indulge. And I found it very interesting because I've never really thought in the direction she thought of when she said that the sun is trying to fight white people. And she gave her reasons as to why the sun is kissing black people and is fighting, and to the point of trying to unalive white people.
Yeah, but guys, this is strictly for educational purposes and
entertainment purposes.
Right, let us know what you think about this video in the comment section. Also consider subscribing if it's your first time here, yeah? And I just need to remind you, if you don't know yet to this point the importance of melanin, kindly just go on Google after this video and check out the importance of melanin. This is something that even scientists have researched, and it's all information that anybody can access.
And they just so happened to be white people.
Exactly. The ones they want to understand it.
Yes, the ones who started researching melanin.
Right.
But all that aside, guys, let's watch this video and then we come back and talk about it.
Yeah.
And we'll leave the name of the creator on the screen. Yeah, let's watch and then we come back and talk about it.
I think what really is pissing off white people is the fact that the sun is trying to kill them. Stay with me. Stay with me. The sun's trying to cook them. The sun is trying to poison them. The sun gives them cancers. Like, the sun ages them in the most diabolical ways. They can't even handle being the slightest bit hot. I believe we all exist within the animal kingdom. We have our name. What are we? Homo sapiens. I believe that we are all animals in our core. Our brains are different, but we all contain mostly the same inside stuff. And if we're part of the animal kingdom, you know, there are predators and there are prey. And the way that the world is set up, white people have made it so that there is really nothing that makes them prey. They have gone around the world, literally conquering most corners of the earth, at least touching them in some kind of way, to prove to everybody that they are the predator. They are the top dog. They are number one. They are predators. Like, the way that lions wander around the jungle, chill, living their best lives because, like, ain't nobody looking for them. People run when they see them. So in that same kind of way, I feel that white people really wanted to make their presence known, because in their minds, they want to be the literal top dog. But the sun don't give up about none of that. The sun is literally doing its damnedest to kill white people. It goes out of its way to torture y'all. And I do believe that that is maybe the reason why they've spent so much time polluting the earth, because maybe then they can defeat the sun. But we see how that's going, you know? The sun's only getting worse. They're realizing that there is no defeating something that is bigger than them. But shh, don't tell them that. But then on top of that, in addition to those things, so it brought me to think, is white people's real beef with all the rest of us the fact that the sun likes us? Because here's the thing, the sun gives life to literally everything else. Everything else on the earth, plants, like rocks, everything derives its life from the sun. So is that the reason that they're mad? Is that it? That they see us living our best lives, soaking in all the juicy UV rays and having the time and being healthier as a result? and they see the sun and they have to cower in the back. Perhaps is that the reason that they're so cranky all the time? Because the way I think about it, if one has lifelong beef with the sun, then they would require some sort of shade. And if one could not travel in the sun, they would probably be looking for some permanent shade. Now, what would cause the world to go from nomadic and living off the land to sort of these fixed structures? Perhaps it's the fact that some people, a certain color folk, could not survive without a permanent structure in which to be protected from the big old star. Is the obsession with owning property, with building and having, is it because it's all protection and some sort of way to guarantee that their generations after us would be completely safe from the sun? Because that's a losing battle. But you know what? If they want to fight them, go ahead. And additionally, is that why they created this fake thing called the economy and the market? Because the only way that they could create value in our society, because they can't do anything outside. That's why they had to keep collecting people from around the globe, is because the outside's trying to kill them. So they had to create industry that could be done inside. And so is that the reason they've created all these elaborate systems of government and all this stuff that controls basic resources, because otherwise they would not have access to it? Like they had to own the system because they physically were not able to do the work necessary to survive on their own. Is that the reason why they're so mad at us? Something to think about. Like, the sun cooks them. The sun poisons them. And I know people are going to say, well, that happens to Black people. Aren't they mixed with some kind of way? Especially if they're American Blacks. Isn't there mixed ancestry? And maybe that's why they wanted to mix up the ancestry a little bit, because they needed to weaken our genes. But I'm not getting into the eugenics of it all. I am not getting into that. And I don't really believe in that. But I do believe that they were breeding Black folk like cattle. So that was probably one of the considerations, because when one is breeding animals, those are the things that you consider. So we got to start being real about that stuff. But like, they weakened the melanin genes so that people are now more susceptible to the sun. But like, the sun's trying to cook them. The sun is trying to poison them. The sun gives them cancers. Like, the sun ages them in the most diabolical ways. They can't even handle being the slightest bit hot. Like, have you seen them? Like, they're the reason why all of the insides are AC'd. And on top of that, do you think that they're keeping us inside so that we can be more vitamin D deficient? Because I'm dangerously vitamin D deficient because I don't be going outside because I got to work. Is that what they're doing? They said, oh, if we take them out the sun, we can weaken them, make them malleable, make them not think, because they'll all be vitamin D deficient and you need that vitamin D. I'm just saying. Okay? Also, I let my twist out. Like, come on now. You see me.
So guys, welcome back. Let us know what you think about this episode on the comment section, yeah? So real quick, I went on to Google, yeah, and asked Google the importance of melanin, yeah? Although we have scientists on YouTube who've done their research and they've put the work out there so people can still find this on YouTube, yeah? So the key roles of melanin: number one, photoprotection. What does that mean? Melanin acts as a natural sunscreen, absorbing UV rays and preventing them from damaging skin cell. So meaning, Black people, because they have a lot of melanin, their skin. Have you ever been in such a situation where somebody tells you, wow, you have a nice skin, or your skin is glowing, tell me the secret, you know? And Black people do have a lot of melanin, and that means from the sun they have full protection, yeah?
Right. And you know, there's also a day we did an episode about melanin, and then we said that we had never used sunscreen. All we use is Vaseline, and we get out and go wherever we want to go. And some someone was saying that in as much as white people use sunscreen, even black people need to use sunscreen because we also get sunburns and we get cooked, you know. And I told them, okay, we used to say, and I'm also still saying that, ever since I was born, I've never used even a single drop of sunscreen.
But
I only use Vaseline.
Doesn't Vaseline count as sunscreen? Because it kind of what is it called?
It acts as a coating layer.
Right? Does it not act as a sunscreen? Guys, let us know. I don't know.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is I've never used anything that looks like a lotion of a sunscreen on my face. I only use Vaseline. That's all I'm saying. And you know, it was quite interesting when the lady, the one who was speaking, by the way, you can find her on TikTok. She's called It's Your Girl Zoom, right? We'll still put her handle on the screen. So she said that for the black people who are saying that even black people get cooked by the sun just like white people, and black people need sunscreen. She was saying these are the type of black people who are mixed with something and hence are not totally black. There's some sort of white in them, and that white part is the one that gets cooked. I don't know.
Yeah, the second key role of melanin. Melanin can act as an antioxidant. What does that mean? It can protect cells from damage caused by free radicals.
Right.
Yeah.
And this reminds me when the lady said, well, she was just bantering with this idea that white people invented things like market and whatnot so that they weren't forced to get out in the harsh conditions to go look for things. Instead, they invented the idea of market so that things can come close to them because they wanted to hide from the sun and they don't want to get cooked because it would unalive them.
Right. Guys,
it's
interesting to know how she thinks, right? Another key role of melanin, immune response. Some research suggests that melanin may play a role in the immune system, helping to regulate inflammation and protect against infections. Yeah. And then also those scientists was talking about how melanin is used in computer chips because, first of all, people who have a lot of melanin have been said to have a lot of memory,
a high memory capacity than those who lack melanin.
Also, it helps with eyesight. Those ones who have
melanin.
What is it called? Melanin. Also, it determines the color of somebody's skin and the color of somebody's eyes. And this scientist was talking about how black people have better vision compared to white people. That is in relation to white people because of the melanin we contain, you know.
Right. And when the speaker said that, she compared the black community all over the world, of course, right, to Mufasa. Mufasa is the lion, you know, how the lions usually are so chill in the animal kingdom, you know, they have no worries. And then she compared white people to the animals now that they observe the lions and they're jealous of everything the lions do, even the freedom the lions have, because they cannot possess such kind of freedom by going out into the sun because they're gonna get unalived or some complication from the sun.
Okay. I thought I understood it differently.
Okay, that is what she said.
How I understood it, I thought she said white people want to dominate everything.
Yes, they want to
just
dominate
like how
everything.
the lion wants to dominate everything in the
No,
jungle. I should open my ears.
Open your ears and remove those wax.
Anyway,
guys, how did you understand it? Maybe I think that is what she said. Yes, she also stated that white people, that is why white people want to dominate everything, just so they cannot be seen as weak or bottom of the food chain. So, and that is why they have masqueraded themselves as the important species, while black people are just chilling. They don't need to prove anything. You get what I'm saying?
Right. And I don't know if you guys have watched these videos on social media, especially TikTok, where you see white people cannot really go into the sun for long duration of time, especially without sunscreen, you know, because when she was talking about the sun cooking them, I once saw a video of a white person who had been in the sun. They had sunscreen, yeah, but still they developed blisters huge enough that you could literally
just burst and a lot of water comes out.
You know, it's like, that was disgusting. But yeah, that is what happened. But for us black people, we really don't experienced that. So I feel like these are the kind of struggles.
Privileges we
Exactly, privileges we
enjoy.
enjoy, and the kind of struggles that the white community doesn't really talk about as much.
Yeah, I do feel like in the white community it's a silent struggle because
Yeah.
growing up
The
in
only-
Africa, we never knew there was any disadvantage to being white. As we thought that white people have it good, it was up until last year that I really truly understood
The importance
the
of-
same way we walk under the sun cannot be the same way white people walk under the sun, because they cannot accord themselves that kind of luxury. Because last year, actually, when we were doing research on that, is when we got to see how much damage the sun can actually be to white people.
And somebody was saying, okay, when she was talking about how they cannot be in the sun for long duration because it seems like the two cannot exist, the sun and the white people. I couldn't help but ask myself, is that why, like, to be quite honest, if we're being honest, is that why not a lot of them are found in Africa? Like, if you look at different continents, in Africa is where you find them the least,
And when they were coming to colonize
Africa.
Africa, it's why a lot of them chose to enslave Africans to work for them, not only for the reason that they were lazy, but also they could not survive under the sun for quite a long duration of time, like the way Africans could.
Yeah, and it's quite sad when you look at some black people, a lot of black people who self-hate, I feel like these are people who are really not aware about what it means to be black. That is why you see them, a lot of them going to bleach.
And it's not only them, even other races like whites and Asians who make fun of black people.
They
and
don't know.
They try to wipe away thinking that you're dirty. They really don't know the importance
don't
of the black skin.
Right, but
I
guys,
do thank God that I'm privileged enough to know what I hold as a black person.
right, and for that reason, normally if I would come across anybody and they self-hate, personally I would tell you don't know what you're missing on, because if you're given your wish and you're given that, the funny thing is that how the other side romanticizes being white and the good things and the whatnot. They're only telling you about the good things they are telling you are good. They're not telling you about
they
the
emphasize on the
struggles.
bad things that comes with being black,
Black,
which they themselves
exactly.
invented.
Right.
The bad negative things were they themselves put through a social system, like black people could not get jobs and whatnot. So they invented
something bad. You don't spend your time to, what is it called? You don't spend your time to try and understand or study a bad thing, But if you find that even scientists have put out work to try and explain the importance of melanin, then why is it that a lot of black people still do not know how important it is to be black? I don't know.
Right. So guys, let us know what you think about this episode. Also consider subscribing if you're new to our channel, and we'll see you on our next episode.